Okay, first of all, the best way to enjoy a single malt scotch is to add a splash of water to it. Okay, what the water does when you add that splash is actually agitate what's in the glass right now. Lets all that initial ethanol escape that alcohol gas, and now instead of tasting ethanol, you can taste the actual whiskey itself, the essence of the whiskey. So a 12-year-old is a Speyside whiskey. 4 basic elements in flavor: fruity, floral, vanilla, and honey. Okay, and it really does. Being a Speyside whiskey, the Glen Livet is a representation of that area, and vice versa. Okay, so Slanzer, cheers. You would like one also? Okay. There you go. So that 12-year-old is mature, all American white oak used bourbon cask. Okay. A 15-year-old has a little bit of a French oak influence. Still mostly American white oak, but a small amount was matured in French oak for a small amount of time. French oak is a little softer, so it's a little more permeable. That means basically the wood and the spirit interact a little more. The wood actually extracts a lot of the sulfates and nitrates that still give that 12 its pepperiness. Not as peppery, a little softer, some creamier buttery notes, and a little more approachable on the palate, especially for people who want to just get into single malt scotch. So you can see just slightly darker, a little more of an aging process. Some more of the colours being pulled from the barrel, the cask. Overall, creamer, softer, a little more buttery notes, and some citrus. And I will pour you one. There you go. The next one we're about to taste is actually a little bit of a different animal from the line. It's our cask strength, Nadura. Nadura is Galen for natural. It's non-chill filtered cask strength. This is about 150 proof. Okay. If you were to go to a distillery and at the end of the warehouse, at the end of the distillery tour, they take you into the warehouse, very often they'll let you try a little bit of the whiskey straight from the cask. We bottled that experience in the Nadura. Nadura, Galen for natural, non-chill filtered cask strength. Still, considering it's 115 proof, very smooth, very, very sweet both on the nose and on the palate. Slange it. I'll pour yours in just 1 second. Delicious. Very zesty, very light, very crisp on the palate. Delicious. There you go. Our 18-year-old, my personal favorite. Matured, mostly in American white oak. A little bit of a sherry cask influence to it. Sherry cask, once again, is a little softer than the American white oak, so it influences it's a little more intense on the influence that it has on the spirit. In the case of the sherry cask, it intensifies the fruits, the nuts, and the spices that are added in there. Once again, fruity, floral, vanilla, honey in here. A little bit of a peppery, spicy finish to it on the back of the palate. And a wonderful finish. You'll find after putting the glass down and taking a drink, you'll probably still be salivating a little bit. Some whiskies will dry your mouth out a little. Opposite here. Has you salivating. Delicious. Balance, complexity, 18 years across the board from this brand is really almost a peak time for maturation. I haven't forgotten about you. There you go. Okay, finally, we're 21. Matured the same way as the 18. Mostly American white oak, a little bit of a sherry cask influence, but for an additional 3 years, obviously 21 years versus 18. A couple of changes took place in those additional 3 years. Overall, a little sweeter. The spice changed to ginger, cinnamon spice. The nose is a little different. Picking up now on some of that charcoal, sherry oak wood, a little smokiness. Smokiness from the oak, not any. There is no peat in the nose. It's not a peaty smoke. It's that charcoal wood. Once again, cinnamon, ginger, honey, vanilla, a little bit of a chocolate aftertaste. Has a little more gravity to it. It's been in the cask a little longer than the rest of them. It's drawn out some wood sugars, so it does coat them up a little more. You're looking for that, basically a little heavier element. almost velvety texture on the palate. And that's us walking through the whole line.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Thank you.
There you have it. The Glen Livet family. Massive.
Perfect.